Welcome back to the West Coast Heroes channel, and this is our new F30 335i X-Drive shop car. This F30 335i X-Drive is our new shop car, and we've been working hard to find a vehicle to make our first build series on. We haven't really done one of these yet on the channel, and we're super excited to dive deep into this one. As you can see, this car is a little bit tired, a little bit dirty, and you'll see it definitely needs some mechanical work, but it has great bones. So as mentioned before, it is a 335i, so it has the N55 EWG, and it's also X-Drive, and it also has the 8-speed automatic ZF transmission, as you guys all know. And the reason we picked out a 335i versus a 340, there are tons of builds on B58 F30 cars, and no one really shows the 335i any love. And we've been working hard to find something cheap and affordable that a lot of you guys at home have and you want to build out. I mean, look at this thing. It's not necessarily a bad car, but non-M Sport bumpers, ugly wheels. It's fully bone stock, never been modified. Okay, so now that you've seen the car, I want to walk you guys through on how we got the car, why we got the car. So yeah, why this F30 335i X-Drive? I know I keep saying the whole name of it. It's kind of a mouthful, but whatever. Basically, I found this car on Craigslist, and you know, we've been looking for deals for a while. Like I said, this has been in the works for a long time. We've been wanting a build series on the channel, and you know, I found this car. It was listed for the max amount of days. The listing was about to delete the next day, so I went ahead, shot the guy an email. You know, obviously lowballed him. Ended up being this car had a crazy story, and the guy was out of the country. The title was from out of state, and it was being held by his friend, basically. So crazy story. Kind of, you know, you don't really hear that too often. Usually transactions are a little easier, but basically I lowballed him. He's like, no. And then a couple months pass, shoots me a text again. He's like, hey, you still want the car? I still have it. He's like, I need to get rid of this thing. You know, my buddy's bugging me, can't hold the car. And next thing I knew it, I was on the way to San Diego with all the whole team. And we went ahead and picked up this thing, pretty much didn't do any inspections. You know, we just wanted to dive in. We got this thing for a pretty good deal. So, you know, we want to show that pretty much anyone can do this to their car. I mean, the F30s are getting very affordable, especially the 335i variant. I mean, they're at this point 10-plus-year-old cars. So you can pick these up all day for pretty cheap, just a couple $1,000s. So going from that, why do we pick a 335i and not a B58 340? First of all, more expensive. Second of all, everyone builds B58s. I mean, rightfully so. Like, it's just a better platform, make more power. It's cheaper to make more power. They can hold more power. But you know, we still want to show that do not count the N55 out, especially the EWG. They can hold a good amount of power, and you already know we're going to put a top mount turbo on this thing, so keep your eyes out. So obviously the car was sitting for about 2.5 years, as I mentioned previously, and the paint is surprisingly in decent shape. I mean, obviously it's super dirty, but I could definitely see that after we clean this thing up, it's gonna look pretty freaking good. Either way, we're probably gonna switch up the look with a vinyl wrap or maybe even a colored PPF. We haven't decided quite yet what we wanna do, but first thing on the bucket list is for sure gonna be getting this thing mechanically sorted and just cleaning it. I mean, the car is pretty disgusting. As you can see under the hood, under the car, there's cobwebs everywhere, leaves hanging down. Like, I mean, you could tell the car was sitting. Okay, so taking a closer look at the car in the front, as you can see, it has these headlights, the Xenons. They're not the worst, but you already know we're gonna upgrade those. And then obviously these bumpers gotta go, like M Sport all the way. So we're gonna be getting some aftermarket bumpers slapped onto the car, and it's just gonna look so much better. Okay, I don't wanna get started on the wheels, guys. Like, look at these. Like, I mean, some people may have different opinions, but to me this looks like almost like an E90 wheel. So it definitely looks outdated. So we're gonna be swapping those out for sure. Maybe gonna put a little beadlock in the rear for that extra power that we're gonna put on the car. Okay guys, looking at the rear of the car, obviously these pre-LCI taillights, they just don't look good in general, but they also don't work. All the bulbs are out on the brake light, and I think the DRL on one of the sides is out. But we're gonna get rid of these as well, and we're gonna change up the whole rear end, including that bumper. As you can see, has that gash on it, so that gotta go. Okay guys, so now we're under the hood, and as you can see, it is really dirty under here. There's a little bit of salt because the car was in, I think, New York or New Jersey for a few years, but under the car it wasn't too bad at all. Very minimal surface rust, but definitely needs a nice cleanup. And the valve cover is leaking, the oil pan gasket's leaking. I mean, definitely needs some mechanical work, as you saw in some of those other clips, but good bones. The car pulls nice. It had this weird like hitching issue we'll show in the car later on, but kind of comes and goes, which makes us think it may be like a loose coil pack or just a, you know, a carboned up spark plug or something like that. But we're not too sure about that quite yet. Obviously, we're gonna go through the whole car and change out all those components anyway. So that'll probably just fix it. But we're just excited to see what this platform can do. First, we're gonna be going with the stock turbo maxed out. Then we're gonna be putting that top mount. And you know, this car is just gonna be going to all the car shows for you to see and enjoy. And who knows, maybe at the end of it, we may even give it away to one of you guys.
Looking for parts for your BMW, Audi, or Mercedes? Check out West Coast Euros. We make it easy. Browse online, get fast shipping, and upgrade your build without any hassle. Whether you're daily driving or track prepping, we've got you covered. Tap the link below or head to westcoasteuros.com.
So we're inside the car now. As you can see, it's not necessarily a bad place to be, but it's very bass in here. Bass steering wheel with no paddle shifters, bass shifter, ugly bass bench seats. One nice thing going for the car is that it has the nicer screen, so we're definitely going to be putting Apple CarPlay in that as well, since it doesn't have it from the factory. And yeah, other than that, I mean, it's very simple in here. And then obviously that ugly bass wood trim. I don't mind the wood trim when it's the darker one. I guess this doesn't really feel out of place because the whole car is very like bass inside, but we're definitely gonna be swapping that out for some nice Alcantara and carbon fiber. So stay tuned for that. So one cool Easter egg about this car is that we actually found all the booklets in the glove box sealed and everything, never opened. And we found the window sticker. As you can see, this car was $53,000 and some change after destination charge. I mean, that's kind of crazy. Look at this thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a cool car, but it doesn't have M Sport, doesn't have any of the cool packages. All it has, the cold weather, the driver's assistance, and the premium. So it has the keyless go, the rear view camera, the PDC, some of the heated seats, but it still has those base ugly bench seats. Doesn't have the nice bumpers, doesn't even have Lux line bumpers. I mean, this is what we were going for. A specific F30 like this, looking all stock and base, because we wanted to change everything out on the car cosmetically as well to showcase that to you guys at home who may have an F30 just like this, or a 328i F30, or even a 340. A lot of these mods are universal on the platform. We got the car on the lift right now, and we're gonna take our first look underneath the vehicle. We already took off these beauty pans, as you can see, so we can see everything in its raw form. So obviously the car does have a good amount of oil leaks going on. This oil pan gasket's pretty done. The valve cover is leaking as well, and then some other stuff. As you can see, it's all kind of dripping down, collecting, especially on the transmission aspect right there. Thankfully, the transmission isn't leaking, and the rear main seal is good too, as well as all the axles and everything. No tears in the boots, no leaks out of the axles. The diffs are good. One interesting thing to look at here is the front drivetrain kind of thing. As you can see, this axle literally runs through the oil pan, which is such a complicated system, this X-Drive, but you know, lets you put that power down. Same story in the rear of the car. Surprisingly, the car is actually in pretty good shape for the age. Obviously, it's 11 years old at this point, and there is some surface rust on some parts of the car. You know, I mean, it happens over the age of a car, and we're gonna refresh that anyway, so it'll be good. But one thing we were super surprised about is, if you know anything about these F30s, the parking cable tends to sag in the rear mount, where it lines up right around the diff. Surprisingly, the one on this car is good. We're still gonna replace it with the upgraded one to make sure everything is, you know, good for the future, but you know, it just shows the condition of this car is pretty good. And looking over, you can see that this car was sitting, like there's cobwebs everywhere. Okay guys, last thing I want to show you was the brakes and the suspension. So looking at the caliper here, on this side at least, it's looking pretty tired and old and beat up. So we're gonna be repainting that. We're gonna be changing out the brake pads and the rotors, obviously, for upgraded ones, to make sure this thing can stop and handle that extra power it's gonna have to the wheels. And then obviously the front shocks at least are pretty blown. Luckily all the bushings are actually in decent shape. We already took a look at all those, but maybe we're gonna replace the lower control arms or something for upgraded ones. But we already got suspension, so as in coilovers, waiting to be put on the car to make sure it's gonna look good and handle good on the road. Okay guys, as I mentioned, the parts don't only stop at just maintenance and performance. We got a bunch of cosmetic stuff. So we even picked up a black headliner, some Harman Kardon speakers, and as you can see, these M Sport bumpers, but more to that later, so stay tuned for the build series. Okay guys, if you made it this far into the video, I just want to say thank you for watching, and make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications if you want to keep up with the build. We're going to be releasing a ton of content with this car. We're going to be completely replacing all the components, as I mentioned previously, and adding some big boy power on the car. And as always, if you'd like any parts for your BMW, Volkswagen, Mercedes, or Audi, we will make sure to leave a link down below to our website where you can purchase all the mods you'd like.